My guest today is Natalie Manor, and Natalie is the founder and president of Natalie Manor and Associates. And she's a recognized leader in leadership, business development, and people development, having served a global client base since 1986. She's a six-time author, a keynoter, an executive business coach, a business consultant, and a well-known and respected expert in leadership, communication, and behavior performance. Her books and global work provide the high performer with key tips, techniques, and strategies needed to successfully produce competent leaders. And her work has been featured in USA Today, the Chicago Tribune, the LA Times, CNN, Fox, BBC, All Night, CBS News, NBC, and ABC. And of course, I've had the pleasure of knowing Natalie, and she is absolutely a wealth of information, but also a delight. So welcome, Natalie, to the show.
I love being called to the light. Thank you very much, Gail, and love being here with you.
Oh, well, you know, as you know, this is a show for women 50 plus. So I have to ask you, with all of your experience and so forth, why is now the best time to know that we are truly okay?
Well, that is so important for women to know because those of us that are over the age of 50 have a lot of stories. And
Oh
some of
boy,
the
that we
stories,
do, don't we?
we have lots and lots of stories. And sometimes the stories are very, very old, and some of them just aren't true anymore. So right now, in crisis, energy, the world, climate change, politics, all of those different things, you get to be with the most powerful relationship you're ever going to have, and that's you. And when we are bemused and confused and lost, and it feels really, really negative, I believe that when we become aware of where we are with our stories, we get to decide. And when women decide, make a decision, it's the most powerful place to be. Because if you received negative information, Gail, or you received positive information, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's still the decision point, and you're the one who gets to make the decision. And it's such a powerful place to be when you know, oh, okay, well, I've received this information, and boy, I don't like that much at all. And what do I want to do about it? Or I've received this information and it's really terrific. How do I want to incorporate it? What do I want to do with that? And it is, I just think the decision point, whatever the information you get. And that's really the premise of my coaching. I just started a new program called You Got This. And it's certainly for women because my practice is 85% women. When I first started, all the checks I got were signed by men, and 85% of them are signed by women now, or credit cards. And I love that because it's been a remarkable career for me. So I say now, even with all the negativity and our DNA within inside of us and our hormones that we got to go fix all of it. No, we don't. We need to take a deep breath and go, all right, what do I want to do with this? And then when we do that, when women make the decision about the next best step, oh, we feel good. We feel sassy. It's like a new dress that fits great.
Well, I agree with you, Natalie. However, I am amazed, and I would love you to speak to this, how many women reach the age of 50 and those above 50 who still are so insecure
Yes.
about who they are because they've got just this whole wealth of information and background and experiences and, as you say, stories that have happened to them, and they've survived. That's the point. They've survived. So, what do you do with that?
People find me, Gail, the same way they find you is like I'll go speak somewhere and a woman will go, oh, I want some more of that. I really want to find out more about, what Natalie has to say about building confidence and competence and all of the rest of that. I think that there's a readiness that is percolating right now, that is more ready than it's ever been, because women are very curious. And and I think from the metaphysical world, which I've also studied for the last 30 years, and yeah, it's a little woo woo over there, but it is, you have to have a breakdown before you can have a breakthrough. You really, women usually choose something terrible before they allow themselves to go, thank you. Like if I said to you, gee, I really like your dress. Oh, this old thing. I mean, that's old news. I teach women how to say thank you, and they're just so unaccompanied, unaccustomed to it. So I think now, with all the power and all the energy and all of the negativity, women are really in a heightened awareness. And yeah, I see a lot of insecurity, but I also see a lot of believing the story that when you were in the first grade or the second grade, you're not a good speaker, or you didn't get picked for dodgeball, or all of those things that are still resonating within our bodies. And those stories are hard to let go. I have been married and divorced twice, and I realized when I stopped telling my story about what a stinker my ex was, that I was healing. So as a as a guide, Gail, I think, what are the stories that you're telling on a daily basis will tell you where you are, because it's time to take just a deep breath and go, nope, nope, don't want that anymore. So how do you change insecurity and I'm not enough and the world is terrible and all of that? Is you stand in the moment and go, what do I want?
Yeah, and a lot of
I
people
don't
don't.
think women ask questions. Sorry.
Yeah, and they don't know, but they don't really. Um, I don't know if some women are capable of doing that. I was speaking yesterday about someone that I was giving a speech to, a group, and the woman was telling me all the things about her mom, and I said, "Well, is your mom still alive?" And she said, "No." I was talking to a woman, and I said to her, "Well, is your mom still alive?" And she said, "No." And I said, "How long has she been gone?" And she told me 35 years, and this
Yes.
woman was still being ruled by her mom. So, what top practices can we add to our busy lives to change?
I'm not so sure that it's a practice like go do something. Um, my guidance is go be something, and that is ask some questions. And the number one guidance that I give to my clients in order for them to get to know themselves in this current moment is take an assessment. It's a behavioral assessment. Who are you? What do you value? How do you speak? And that, who are you today? Who are you today? Not your mom's little girl when you were one and you didn't do your first communion correctly. All of those stories. I know all about moms. I had a very angry, very narcissistic, active alcoholic, smoking mom who didn't want me, all the rest of that stuff. And I got to transcend that because I said, whose life is this? But I was guided by people that I was able to hear the questions I wanted to ask. And the practice, the number one practice I would say is, what do you want? What's most important to you? Because I don't think women know that. I don't think they've asked that question. I've got a little story on that. I was asked by an international company about 6 years ago. I mean, these were diverse people, men and women, different countries, different languages, all of that. And they were going to have to work together. It was 150 of them, and they had a huge leadership project. And I was tasked to do a talk on consensus. How do you come to consensus? Which is very much the way the Quakers teach people, and that is you stay in the conversation until you come to a decision, a consensus that everyone can support, not compromise, because that feels like a loss. And in my looking at how you come to consensus, my research took me to Einstein, Peter Drucker, some really, really greats in the industry and in science. And what made them powerful was they asked questions. of themselves. Like, what do you want in the moment? Well, if this doesn't work, what else would work? And women don't do that. They do not ask questions. They wait to be served. They wait to be complimented. They wait for things to be right. They wait until everybody's done with dinner and then they'll sneak in something. And it's the environment that we have grown up in. So to transcend that is just start your day with, I mean, if you're a God-fearing person and that's, that's what's for you, but it is, my nickname is Muffy, and I was called that from the day I was born, is Muffy, what do you need? What do you want today? And then I always surrender, but, I'm God-fearing and that's my place. But whatever, I mean, you can do nature, whatever it is, but what is it that today would most serve me and my clients? And you begin asking questions. And anybody that I work with, Gayle, they get a list of 35 questions. Now they're going to do 35 a day. They are not. You always find two or three questions you love, like what about that is important to you? But ask the question each morning, what would be most important for me to feel? And then when somebody offends you, what about this is really bothering me? And I think if we become a questioner, we'll be so powerful.
Well, I was working with a group last week and we were working on negotiation.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I mean, when you're working on negotiation, you ask those questions.
Well, but we were talking about the different ways that men negotiate and women negotiate.
Sure.
And women go in with a lack kind of a feeling. In other words, well, I may not be good enough. I may not have the requirements for this. I may not be able to do this well. I've never done it before. Men go in and say, I've never done this, but I can do it. And so I deserve this. Give me this raise. Give me this position. Give me this. They don't go in and qualify themselves, whereas women are always qualifying what they are asking for. And they looked at me and said, you're right. And one woman wrote me a beautiful letter on the, she sent me an email and said, you made an entire difference in how I approach things,
Yes.
So, but you also say that nutritional practices are important here too. So what's your advice there?
One of my favorite authors in the whole world, Gayle, is Louise Hay.
Oh,
and
yes.
She passed about 4 months ago, and she was 90 years old. And 2 years before she passed, she had a new guy partner, and she was learning how to tango. I mean, the woman, she knew how to do life, and she didn't start her multi-million-dollar business till she was 60. So anybody out there says, I'm too old, you know what? No, you're not. But she says this: you are in that body of yours, and it is the longest and closest relationship you'll ever have.
That's true.
How you doing? Take good care of it. So when I talk about nutrition, it's sort of like talking about budgeting. People go, they roll their eyes and everything else. Nutrition, you can't live without it. You may be living without it right now, but it's not really living. And the one is hydrating. Your body needs water. It's, stats are, what is it, 78 or 86 or 98% water. You can't live without water. No lattes, smoothies, beer, margaritas are not water. It's water. I don't go anywhere without a bottle of water. I have a bottle of water right next to me right now. One of the suggestions that I have, because women go through vitamin C in their body, they don't store it, especially if you drink or you smoke or you're in stress. And I mean, women look for stress so they can stay stressed out, is lemon water. You just buy a bottle of the lemon or squeezed lemons, and I just call it citrus juice. And I constantly have a canning jar of it next to me. I do a lot of canning and gardening, so I'm that's my stemware, Gayle. Hydration, lemon water, more vinegar in your life. I mean, if you do any research at all, you can go, and there's 100,000 suggestions that what vinegar will do for you. And you can wash windows with it. But you can flush your body, and your body really does like that. Supplements. I'm on supplements. No, I'm not a doctor. And if you're on full meds with doctors. You're going to ask, but women run through vitamin C almost immediately when they put it into their body. So if you eat an orange, it's gone in a couple of hours. So I supplement with vitamin C, vitamin D, because there is a horrendous um, case of no vitamin D, and it has so many symptoms because nobody's getting out and getting in the sun really. Vitamin E, which is an elixir for a woman's body because we love vitamin E, calcium, and magnesium. Those are the women's supplements.
I take every one of those.
Yeah.
So it's
And,
interesting.
and the other thing, nutritionally, meal plan. And that's the other thing about, when my clients get on the phone with me, I say, okay, so what did you fuel yourself with today? Because there is, 100 trillion cells within your body, and they all need to circulate and, take the oxygen and everything else. I'm not talking about never eating a glazed donut again because I was trained as a Catholic. You give me a box of glazed donuts and man, they'd be gone in an hour. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what are you eating and are you conscious of it? That's all. Because
Well, I think that last point is the most important, and that's, are you conscious of it? Because some of us sit down to eat because it's time to sit down and eat. And we just grab what's there and we're not really conscious of it. And if you ask somebody at dinner what they had for lunch, they probably can't even remember. So it's true. I mean, planning is an important part of it, and there's so many ways to get nutritious foods today that there's no excuse not to have it. But
But you know what, Gail? Seriously, I mean, we are women. You're a woman. I'm a woman. Your whole niche is women. My niche is women too. What do women do? Is they go out there and go, I'm going to change all my meals and I'm going to do this, and then a week later they fail and then they beat the crap out of themselves. I don't want you or your audience to do that. I want you to pick one thing and say, what about this would be important for me? And then start there. Because when we feel good about completion and getting something done, we are sassy, we are confident. So just pick one thing. So I don't want you to change your whole meal plan right now. We eat 3 times a day and then we snack. I mean, it's a huge burden to shift if you're not eating well. Pick one thing and then just be aware of it and go, you rock, girl, and congratulate yourself for it.
yeah,
Now you'll have changed 30 things.
well, they say that, it takes 21 consecutive days to form
Sure.
a habit. And, I don't know, there's controversy. Is it true? Is it not true? But let's say it is true. And the problem is either nobody can last 21 days, or if something happens to them during that time, most people, no matter what, whether it's eating or it's their work or it's how they run the family or it's exercise or whatever it is, if something happens to distract them or stop it, they immediately go back to what was, because it's easier to do what you've always done. And that's where people really run into a roadblock.
Well, and here's a stat that's pretty scary. Abused children go back to the abuser because they want that recognition. If I were just a little bit better, I wouldn't be abused. So if you're abusing yourself in a lot of different areas, like a no confidence, I'm not enough, awareness, your stories, and you get to mindset and blame everybody else, there is a place for you to take a deep breath and say, okay, I blew it today. So what is it? What is it that one I can recover with, or just forgive myself? I do mirror work, not every day like Louise Hay. I mean, she had 6 different desks and she had a mirror at every desk. But I look in the mirror when I'm doing my teeth and when I visit the restroom, and I look in the mirror and go, you know what? I love you, Muffy. And sometimes I get tears in my eyes because I really need that.
Well, and I think, and I always talk about the fact that my mom, said to me at 7 or 8, you have to look in the mirror and say, I like you. And then you have to say, I love you.
Yes.
So I agree with that. But, there's another aspect too of all of this. Some women who are divorced come out very well, and they've got money flowing in. Many women who are divorced are left with nothing. So what are some of the ways that you talk about that work for earning and saving dollars? Because I know that's a concern as you get older. Oh, people won't want me. I'm too old. They won't hire me. I can't change jobs. I've got to have enough to live on the rest of my life.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's interesting.
that's the overwhelming story, and those are the stories that I'm talking about. Is when you take a deep breath, Gail, and find and you sit in that place called, okay, what's most important to me now? What's the outcome that I want? Women aren't asking those questions. They're just not asking the question. They are on, turned on in the morning, and then they're just doing this rhythm, this constant, yeah, yeah, yeah. When you say, okay, what's most important to me? What's the outcome that I want? What pleases me? When you're in that space, your essence, your galeness, your muffiness will speak to you and say, okay, this is what I need, this is what I want. And completion to women is so cool. We love that. Now it is a chemical, reaction within the body. When I can remember in the old days, and it's not that long ago, the old days when you'd say, okay, I'm going to go in Saturday morning and finish this report, and then I'll be done for the weekend. Technology, you're never done. But when we complete something, like everybody has $10. So $10 a week, and put it in a little account. Nobody has to know about it. You can put it in an envelope. You can put it on your bulletin board with a tack. And at the end of the month, you've got $40. You didn't have $40 before. $10 a week. Now, I know this from experience, because with divorce, I did not end up that well. And then I had two babies of my own. And then I was self-employed for all of these years. Self-employed, I did everything with credit cards and whatever. So I was in debt. And then I learned about the questioning process, because you become a coach and you ask these questions, and accumulation and being able to visually see it, or to physically participate in it. So, well, Natalie, $40 at the end of the month isn't a lot of money. Yeah, well, it's, when you have all that money at the end of
$40
the
you
year.
didn't have before. That's right.
And it's not the amount so much as it is the practice of it. So, because you'll always have this little secret amount of money someplace, you don't share with anyone, you don't give to your children. And, if you have an emergency, you can spend it, but it just feels so good. So, if you're doing $5 a week and then $10 a week, the law of attraction is you're going to get more money. You just will, because when you're concentrating on lack, I won't, I don't have, I don't have, I don't have, that's what you attract. That's just, it's just what is. But when you've got $40 and you see it in cash, all of a sudden another five shows up. You feel good about that. And so the law of attraction helps that. And then the other part of it is you need to have an attitude of gratitude. Thank you for being able to walk on my feet. Thank you for being able to breathe. Thank you for this pretty scarf around my neck. Gratitude and completion make women powerful. Sexy too. You just feel good.
Well, that's true. And I think, and it goes back to what you were saying earlier about following through on everything. But you also talk about miracles, creating miracles, and continuing to grow. And I'm just wondering what you think a miracle is.
Oh, yeah. Well, my biggest miracle in my life, other than my two daughters, oh, and now my grandson and my new grandbaby, and my daughter's going to have another baby next week. I'm accumulating grandchildren. Other than those miracles, I think a miracle is standing in the place and allowing yourself to receive what you deserve. That, because we ask for things and then we push it away. There's an example. This is not mine. I wish I had this. Is that we go to a restaurant and we order a salad. We've ordered the salad and here's the dressing we want. And then the waiter walks by and you say, okay, now make sure that you bring me that salad. So, and then next time he walks by, you say, no, you're going to get me that salad, right? And it is, we beseech rather than allow. So here it is. I really would like this. You get ready to receive it. You're in a grateful place. And then it could be a parking space. It could be whatever it is, but you allow that miracle to happen for you rather than go, I'm never going to get my salad. Look at my watch. The salad's never going to, God, I hate this waiter, this restaurant. So ask for it, allow it, be grateful, and believe you deserve it. It's a transition that is not necessarily easy and smooth, but that's why all of my clients, the first thing they learn with me after we do our assessment together is awareness. Where are you now? What are you thinking now? Because when you're aware, you can go, well, okay. Deep breath. All right. I really would like, and then you allow it and you can receive it. Because if somebody says to you, Gail, wow, that suit's really nice on you today, I know what you're going to say. You say, thank you.
Well, yeah, that's a
86% of the people out there aren't going to do that.
yeah,
They're
that's
never going to
tell
say
you,
thank you.
that's a good place to take our break. We're going to take our break
Oh,
in just a few minutes or a few seconds, I should say. But I do think that you're right. I think we aren't gracious enough to ourselves. We're certainly
mhm.
gracious to other people, but we're not necessarily gracious to ourselves. So we'll come back and talk a little bit about that. Stay
Lovely.
with us, folks. We will be back in just a minute with part two.